Hey everyone, Steve here from My Crypto World. Hope your weekend was well and good. Today we're going to be covering off three news articles. The first one is relating to Ripple and a survey that outlined that 85% of countries in the world will adopt a certain type of crypto within the next 4 years. So that's very big news. We're going to have a look at Cardano and the breakout that's happening at the moment ahead of the Vassal hard fork upgrade and implementation. And normally I reserve all the news articles on this channel just for crypto only, but we've actually in Australia, in Melbourne in particular, where I live, we've had a very big breakthrough when it comes to clean energy. So I'm going to be covering off a story that's not related to crypto, but will affect billions of people around the world if their research stacks up. All that after this. Okay, so the first news article says that a Ripple survey says that 85% of countries in the world will adopt this class of crypto within the next 4 years. A new Ripple survey reveals what experts think about the potential for one crypto niche to see widespread mainstream adoption. In the fall of 2021, Ripple asked over 1,600 business participants across the 22 countries to discuss what they thought of the central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. The report reveals that the vast majority of the respondents polled believe widespread CBDC adoption is in sight, with 85% saying that they believe they will be adopted in their country within the next 4 years. The article goes on to say that 42% of the finance professionals foresee CBDCs as fostering innovation. And at a final note, Ripple notes that blockchain impact on fiat currencies could be a game changer for governments adopting these currencies. The report concludes that greater inclusion, greater equity, new opportunity, new efficiency, which is probably the big one, enhanced competitiveness, and more are all potential outcomes. For that reason, we believe the adoption curve will slope upwards much more rapidly in the coming 2 years as secure, agile, and sustainable approaches to CBDCs are tested and proven more widely across the globe. So really positive article there. If you've got a lot of finance professionals understanding how the cryptoverse is working and what that might mean for their companies, their payment solutions, everything else that goes with it, and such a large majority of them saying, not 85% in fact, saying that at some point in time they know it's going to be adopted. So again, it just, I truly believe that in 5 to 10 years we'll be looking back and saying, why on earth didn't I buy more crypto back then? Whether it's XRP or something else that you might be interested in. The next article is related to Cardano. Now, we've covered a lot of Cardano stories on this channel over the last couple of weeks, just because there's so much happening. And this is another article that I just want to cover off with you, just to give you more context as to what's happening with this crypto project. The article says that the Cardano rally breaks into a rally. IOHK, which is Input Output Hong Kong, drops scalability research on ADA. So it's a research paper, and they're really discussing what that's going to do for the actual currency. There was a spike in the total value locked in the Cardano network as the inflow of capital to the altcoin's DeFi ecosystem increased. Cardano witnessed inflows of over 21 million in the past week, and the total value locked has now climbed to 268 million. The upcoming Vassal upgrade, which we have discussed in other articles on this channel. So if you don't know what that is, go back and have a look at my previous videos. It should be in the title. The Vassal upgrade aims to deliver key capabilities that could boost the number of projects on the Cardano network. Notably, some DApps, so DeFi applications, could significantly improve Cardano's network scalability and interoperability. Furthermore, the Vassal hard fork aims to provide the current DApps with the capability of functioning at a higher speed, boosting transaction capability and script power. Now, this is what a lot of developers are looking for at the moment. They want higher speed, they want quicker transactions, they want more onto the blockchain. IOG has stated the implementation of several consistent parameter optimizations ahead of the hard fork to enhance the network's performance. Since the Vassal hard fork aims to enhance the Plutus smart contracts platform, again we've discussed that in previous videos, it could enable developers to produce DApps that are faster and more effective The enhanced capabilities of Plutus will be available for developers after the Vassal hard fork obviously goes live. So again, a pretty positive article from Coinora that hosted this article, and again another insight into what's happening with Cardano at the moment and the foreseeable future. I've spoken about Charles Hoskins a number of times on this channel. He's an absolute gem of a bloke, and really has got his wits about him and certainly knows where his focus is for the evolution, I guess, or the continued evolution of ADA. Now, as I said in the intro, I've never covered a news article off that's not really related to crypto on this channel before, but something happened last week in Melbourne at one of the universities here, and I thought it was worth sharing because it will have major impacts around the world if this technology can be harnessed and utilized. And so I'm just going to cover it off now. So if you invest in anything else other than cryptocurrencies, if you're looking at stocks and things like that, you might want to keep an eye out on this, because at some point in time, some company somewhere is going to capture this data and make a run for it as far as building a scalable business around this solution goes. So the article is Eureka Moment as Australian research make hydrogen storage breakthrough. Now, for those that aren't familiar, hydrogen can be quite flammable and explosive, but it is an incredibly good fuel source. And in the past, people have made hydrogen cars. We used to have the big hydrogen balloons that, used to, through World War II, fly everywhere. The only problem with them, if they shot a rocket into the balloon, obviously it would absolutely explode and people would fall out of the sky because it's such a volatile gas. But the benefit of it is that it has virtually no, there's no waste from it. From using hydrogen. Anyway, I'm transgressing. Let's go on to the article. Australian researchers have found a novel way to separate, store and transport huge amounts of gas safely that could wind up being the missing piece of the puzzle for renewable hydrogen. Renewable hydrogen figures enormously in the net zero emission plans of Australia, particularly in the hard to decarbonise sectors of the industry and heavy transport. So in Australia, most of it would be around mining. Diesel and fossil fuels, things like that. But storing and transporting large quantities of the gas for practical application remains a major challenge. A team from Deakin University for Frontier Materials, IMFM, in Melbourne, which is probably 15 minutes from my home, says that it has found a new mechanochemical way, that's a new word for me. Is that what it says? Mechanochemical way of separating and storing gases, which is safe, uses a tiny fraction of the energy compared to traditional methods, and creates zero waste. That's a big one. No waste is pretty important. The team says the breakthrough, detailed in the Journal of Materials today, is such a departure from accepted wisdom on gas separation and storage that it had to be repeated 20 to 30 times before the researchers could believe that what they were doing was actually working. We were so surprised to see this happen, but each time we kept getting the exact same result. It was a eureka moment, said lead researcher on the project. Now, eureka, for those who have never heard that word before, it's an Australian term. It just means you beauty, you ripper. It was coined from the Eureka Stockade, which is all about the gold rush that happened in Australia in our early times. So it's a very positive word. There was no waste. The process requires no harsh chemicals and creates no byproducts. This means you could store hydrogen anywhere and use it wherever it's needed. The article actually goes on. I will link this below if you're interested in reading it. It goes on to talk about the technology and how they've done it. I won't go into that here. It's really just about the article itself and the actual story itself, rather than the intricacies of how it all works. All up, the process consumes only 76.8 kilojoules to store and separate 1,000 litres of gases, which means it uses at least 90% less than the current gas separation process commonly used in the petroleum industry. The next step for the team is to gather industry support and scale the process up to a full pilot. A provisional patent application has already been submitted for the process. So Look, it doesn't matter what you like to invest in, whether it's property, crypto, the stock market, business, it really doesn't matter. I think we all know that everyone's looking for the next best thing when it comes to sustainable solutions for power, whether it be solar, wind, water, it doesn't really matter. But this is just such a good article to see Australian researchers have this breakthrough. I couldn't help but share it on the channel. Big thumbs up to Deakin Uni for doing that, and just keep your eyes out, because I have no doubt that within the next 5 years this will be a scalable solution that Deakin will be able to patent out to companies who have got the infrastructure to actually make this happen and to roll this out worldwide. So really good article there to finish off with. I hope the rest of your week is good. We'll see you in a couple of more days for some further news articles. Again, if you could hit like and subscribe, it would really help the channel grow, and I would certainly appreciate it a lot. Until we see you next time, take care of yourself and each other. Take care.